Hajj is the fifth pillar of Islam. Pilgrimage to the house of Allah is the fifth pillar of Islam. And you can start your answer if the question is about the way Hajj is performed. ठीक है, अगर आपसे कि what are the major observances of Hajj, the way Hajj is performed. So first of all, give a brief introduction on what is the meaning of Hajj and on whom it is obligatory. Okay, meaning, the meaning of, first of all, write the meaning of Hajj. कि हज मीन्स टू इंटेंड टू रिजॉल्व, ठीक है, उसका मीनिंग आ गया. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल राइट द मीनिंग, विल और डिजायर टू विजिट, will and desire or to visit. This is the meaning of Hajj. In Islamic terminology, you have to mention it is the fifth pillar of Islam, and it is obligatory on Muslims, adults, sane, okay, those who are of sound mind, adults, and those who pilgrimage to the sacred house is compulsory and is obligatory on those who are of sound mind and adult and have provision to travel once in a lifetime. And it was made obligatory in the ninth year of Hijrah. In ninth year of Hijrah, it was made obligatory, and it is performed in the 12th month of the Hijri calendar, the month of Dhul Hijjah, and the holy city of Makkah is visited. And according to the verse of the Holy Quran, pilgrimage to the house of Allah is a duty mankind owe to Allah who can afford, okay, who can afford the journey. So performance of Hajj to the house is a duty to Allah for all who can afford the journey. Okay, it depends on the person affordability of a person. So what are the conditions? The condition is that the person should be Muslim, sane, mature, complete freedom, okay, financial capability, health, security, and women must go along with a male mahram. Women, they must travel along with a male mahram because according to the hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace upon him, women must not travel without having a male mahram with her. So people who are exempted, इससे जब हमें conditions पता चल गई तो हमें पता चल गया कि those who are exempted, okay, non-Muslim तो वैसे ही नहीं करेंगे. Insane person, child, slave or a captive person who is unable to perform Hajj either physically or financially, women having no mahram available, or if there is a fear of the enemy, it makes person relief from the performance of Hajj. Briefly, you must know about the types of Hajj. Okay, it depends on the person's intention and while putting on ihram. Qiran means putting on ihram with the intention of Hajj and Umrah together. When the person puts on ihram with the intention of Hajj and Umrah together, it is known as Qiran. Both Umrah and Hajj, okay, जब उनकी नियत साथ कर ली तो it is known as ihram or Qiran. Tamattu is to first put on ihram, performs, okay, in this kind of Hajj, pilgrims perform Umrah with a separate ihram and Hajj with another ihram. So he first puts on ihram usually for Umrah, and later on he puts again another ihram for Hajj during the time of Hajj. ठीक है, पहले उम्रे का ihram बांध कर गया, यहाँ से उम्रा कर लिया, और फिर जब हज के दिन आ गए तो फिर हज का ihram बांध कर हज कर लिया. दैट इज नोन एज तमत्तु. Ifrad is only Hajj. Okay, when the pilgrim puts on ihram, usually the residents of Makkah, people residing in Makkah, they puts on ihram with the intention of Hajj only. It is known as Hajj Ifrad. नहीं, इसका 10 मार्क का नहीं होगा. ठीक है, आपको बस इसी तरीके से मेथड, आपको मैंने कहा आप मेथड प्रिपेयर करें. ठीक है, इसी तरह मेथड इतना डिटेल में प्रिपेयर करें कि आपसे अगर किसी एक स्पेसिफिक डे के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है, जैसे यूजुअली अब आजकल क्वेश्चन आ जाता है कि राइट अबाउट 9th एंड 10th ऑफ जिल हज, राइट अबाउट 10th ऑफ जिल हज हाली, तो डिटेल में मेथड ऑफ हज इसलिए प्रिपेयर करना जरूरी है कि स्पेसिफिक किसी डे के बारे में अगर पूछ रहे हैं तो यू विल बी एबल टू राइट अ प्रॉपर आंसर. ठीक है, आपने फिर बताना है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एहराम, इसी के अंदर हमारी टर्म्स भी कवर हो रही हैं. ठीक है, टर्म्स भी हो रही है ना एहराम की, जैसे टर्म आ गई कि वी मस्ट नो कि एहराम है क्या. ठीक है, तो एहराम, पुटिंग ऑन एहराम इज मस्ट. ठीक है, मुस्लिम्स दे फर्स्ट पुट ऑन एहराम. दिस इज द फर्स्ट फर्ज और फर्स्ट प्राइमरी imperative of Hajj. Hajj has three primary imperatives. It has three primary imperatives: putting on ihram and making the intention. Second is staying in the plain of Arafat on 9th Zilhaj. And third is tawaf ziyarat on 10th or later on. So it is obligatory to wear ihram during Hajj. So Muslims put on ihram first. Ihram is a general uniform for all the pilgrims, which is obligatory to be worn by all those who are intending to perform Hajj without any discrimination, the rich and the poor. Okay, for men, it is the two pieces of unsewn clothes. and the one sheet is to cover the upper part of the body, which is known as rida, 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 and the second one is to cover the lower part of the body, which is known as izar, izar, izar. Okay, talk about that before putting on ihram, they should take bath. That is a dress code for the pilgrimage, you can say. They have to take bath and put on their ihram, perform 2 rakat nafil, and make an intention and recite talbiyah before crossing the miqat. Okay, according to the hadith, we must know that they have to abide by the several restrictions: use of fragrance, okay, and cutting the hair, okay, trimming the hair or cutting the nails. It is not allowed. In the same way, there are several restrictions that the person must know. जब आपके पास ihram का अलग से सवाल आ रहा होगा तो फिर आप डिटेल में उसकी restrictions भी, उसकी permissibility भी, उन सब चीज़ों को डिस्क्राइब करेंगे. बट व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग अबाउट द मेथड ऑफ हज, तो फिर इतनी डिटेल में नहीं जाना है. आपने सिर्फ ये बताना है कि दे शुड पुट ऑन ihram with the intention of hajj and umrah before crossing the miqat. ठीक है, they must make declare their intention that, oh Allah, I intend to perform hajj, so make it easier for me and accept it from me. So the second thing after putting on ihram is intention. Okay, intention हम सिर्फ यहाँ पे हज की अभी बता दें, क्योंकि हम सिर्फ हज का मेथड डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. तो आप कह दें, आप सिंपल जब नियत लिख दें तो आप लिख दें कि अल्लाह इंटेंड टू परफॉर्म हज, सो मेक इट ईजियर फॉर मी एंड एक्सेप्ट इट फ्रॉम मी. दिस इज द एंड नियत मस्ट बी डिक्लेयर्ड and talbiyah should be recited before crossing the miqat. Miqat are the specific boundaries. Okay, they are the specific boundaries. Before crossing these boundaries, they must declare their intention. Otherwise, they have to pay the penalty. And this penalty is known as dam. Dam is known as sacrifice. Okay, in the form of sacrifice. Reciting the talbiyah. You must know the translation of talbiyah. Talbiyah is simple. Okay, here in this statement, the person admits and he declares that he is in the service of God. He is there present all the time in Allah's service. ठीक है, simple words हैं, याद रखो. Here I am at your service. Okay, here I am at your service. Oh Allah, here I am at your service. You have no partner. Here I am. Truly the praise and the favor are yours, and the dominion. No partner you have. You have no partner. आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कि how does talbiya sum up the relationship between a pilgrim and God? It is the answer is in the translation of this talbiya, because through talbiya the person admits and declares that he is there in the presence of Allah Almighty. He is there in the service of he is there in his service all the time available, and there being obedient to him and declaring that there is no partner with him, rejecting shirk and believing in the oneness of God. This is how it strengthens his relationship with Allah Almighty. The first thing which the pilgrim they have to do upon reaching Makkah, they should perform Tawaf Qudum. Okay, Tawaf is 7 rounds around Holy Kaaba. Okay, and Hajj has 5 days. Hajj starts from 8 Zilhajj. The pilgrims upon reaching Makkah perform Tawaf, which is known as Tawaf Qudum, and they may perform Sa'i at the same time. You can mention that after completing Tawaf, they must perform 2 rakat Nafil at Maqam Ibrahim, the station of Abraham. He can make the station of Ibrahim the place of prayer for you. ठीक है, तवाफ किया, and after performing tawaf, perform 2 rakat nafil at Maqam Ibrahim, and then they may perform sa'i. ठीक है, they may can perform sa'i. ठीक है, सही हज वाली सही अभी भी की जा सकती है. ठीक है, and it can be performed later on. ठीक है, बाद में भी की जा सकती है. सही के बारे में हम ये वर्ड्स कोट कर सकते हैं कि behold, Safa and Marwa are among the symbols of Allah. So whoever is visiting his house during the season मतलब होता है हज season, for Hajj, and at other times should come pass them round. ठीक है, तो whoever is visiting his house during the season, during Hajj or Umrah, should perform Sa'i and should run between the two hills. ठीक है, Safa and Marwa. Sa'i is done between Safa and Marwa, because Hazrat Hajra, she ran, the mother of Hazrat Ismail alayhi Islam, ran between these two mountains in search of water for her infant Ismail. Going to Mina. 8 Zilhaj is the first day of 8th day is the first day of Hajj, and on this day the pilgrims must proceed to Mina. After the Fajr prayer, the pilgrims must proceed to Mina, and here what they will do, they will perform their prayers. ठीक है, मीना में कोई स्पेसिफिक टास्क नहीं है. You can mention that it is 3 to 4 miles east of Makkah, and here they should remain busy in reciting talbiyah, durood, okay, and reciting tasbihat and other supplications. From noon till the morning of 9 Zilhaj, they should stay at Mina. Means that they have to perform Zohar, Asr, Maghrib and Isha prayers of 8 Zilhaj, and also the next day, मतलब फजर भी 9 की वहीं पे पढ़नी है. ठीक है, they have to stay at Mina till the morning of 9 Zilhaj. And after Fajr of 9 Zilhaj, the pilgrims they should leave Mina. Mina से वो चले जाएंगे and they will proceed towards Arafat. ठीक है, second day of Hajj is Yawm Arafah, the day of Arafat. This is the second day of Hajj. ठीक है, तो second day is 9 Zilhaj. That is known as the day of Arafah. ठीक है, ये हम यहाँ पे इसको highlight कर दें कि they have to proceed towards Arafat on 9 Zilhaj. तो 8 Zilhaj they went to Mina, and on 9 Zilhaj they went to Arafat. Okay, for the second obligation of Hajj, which is the stay in the plain of Arafat, which is mandatory, which is obligatory, and without it, Hajj is void because of the hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Hajj is halting at Arafat. The one who missed this obligation has missed his Hajj. Uska Hajj nahi hua. Here, the pilgrims are required to stay till sunset. Okay, from sunrise till sunset, they should stay here. Okay, for the second obligation of Hajj, and here they will combine their Zuhr and Asr prayers at the time of Zuhr because Prophet peace upon him did so, and they will also attend the Hajj sermon. Hajj sermon would be delivered. Prophet had delivered his last sermon from here, from the Mount of Mercy, from Jabal Rahmat, and after the khutbah of Hajj, they combine their Zuhr and Asr prayers with one azan and two iqamat. Okay, and after the prayer they remain engaged and busy in supplication. Okay, and this is the place where prayers are accepted because it is the place where Adam alayhi salam and Hawa they met and they repented to Allah Almighty and they were forgiven. Fine, there is this day is of so much importance, and Allah turned with his mercy towards the people and he forgives the people asking forgiveness from him. Then after the sunset, immediately with the sunset, at the time of sunset, without offering Maghrib prayer, they should leave Arafat and should proceed towards Muzdalfa. Muzdalfa is also known as Mashar al-Haram. तो at sunset, ठीक है, नेक्स्ट जहाँ पे आपको मेन चीज़ उसको आइडेंटिफाई करनी है कि दैट एट सनसेट 9 जिलहज ही चल रहा है अभी उनके हिसाब से ना. ठीक है, तो विद सनसेट दे विल प्रोसीड टूवर्ड्स मुजदलफा. मुजदलफा इज नोन एज मशर अल हराम. Okay, the sacred monument. And Mashar al Haram and Muzdalifah is 6 miles from Makkah. It is between Mina and Arafat. So Mina से कहाँ चले गए थे? Arafat. Muzdalifah is in between Mina and Arafat. ठीक है, तो here they have to stay. Night stay will be there. And there is a Quranic verse about this stay that when you pour down from the plain of Arafat, celebrate the praise of your Lord at the sacred monument. Okay, when you pour down from Arafat, celebrate the praise of your Lord at the sacred monument. Celebrate the praise of your Lord at the sacred monument. Okay. This stay is also wajib. Okay, not the primary imperative, but it is also important to stay there. I hope it is clear. So here they will combine Maghrib and Isha prayers together. Maghrib and Isha prayers will be combined here at this place. Maghrib at Muzdalfa, they will combine their Maghrib and Isha prayers at the time of Isha with one azan and two iqamat. According to the hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, narrated by his companions, that Prophet, peace be upon him, combined Maghrib and Isha prayers at Muzdalfa. He combined Maghrib and Isha prayers at Muzdalfa with one azan and two iqamat, and he did not perform any prayers in between and after them. Okay, he did not perform any other prayers in between and after them. Yes, you can mention that he shortened his prayers because he was a traveler, and that is why he shortened his prayer. So here you can mention that prayers will be combined. Maghrib and Isha prayers will be combined at the time of Isha. And here Muslims will stay at night and they will collect at least 49 pebbles which were later on to be used for stoning. Stoning is known as Rami. Afterwards, on the next day, on the 10th of Zilhaj, okay, they have to proceed towards from Muzdalifah after the Fajr. On 10th Zilhaj, they will proceed towards Mina. They will leave Muzdalifah and they will proceed to Mina. 10th Zilhaj is the third day of Hajj. Okay, this is the third day of Hajj. Here what they have to do, यहाँ चार चीज़ें करनी है and that should be done in a proper sequence. First of all, they should perform Rami. Okay, Rami should be done. Okay, stoning on three pillars. ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे आपने सिर्फ बताना है कि on this day it may not the stoning of the first pillar Jamratul Uqba is done with seven of the collected pebbles. Okay, जो पे जो पेबल्स कलेक्ट किए थे उसमें से 7 would be used to stone the first pillar, the largest pillar. ठीक है, after Rami they will perform sacrifice. ठीक है, performing the sacrifice that is known as udhiya. After the sacrifice they can shorten their hair and they can shave their head. ठीक है, after the sacrifice what they have to do, the male pilgrims shave their heads while female cut a lock of their hair, and cutting hair is mentioned in the following verse: certainly you shall enter Masjid Haram if Allah wills, some having your heads shaved and some having your heads hair cut short, having no fear. ठीक है, तो Prophet peace upon him prayed for such people who got their head shaved thrice. Okay, he said, may Allah bless those who got their head shaved, and he repeated it thrice. And you can mention that when he said for one time he said that may Allah bless those who also got their hair shortened. Difference between farz and wajib is simple. You don't have to go in detail. Farz is something which is there mentioned in the Quran, which is obligatory from the Quranic verse. Okay, and in some cases, some obligation we come to know from the hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, frequently, then that is considered a वाजिब. ठीक है, जिसकी ऑब्लिगेशन हमें हदीस से पता चले वो वाजिब यूजुअली होता है, लेकिन इसमें आप बहुत डिटेल में ना जाएं. Then after shaving the head they must proceed to Masjid Haram for the performance of. Now after performing sacrifice they can put off their ihram and they can wear their normal dress, and then they will proceed towards Masjid Haram for the performance of Tawaf Ziyarat. Tawaf Ziyarat could be performed between 10th and 12th Zilhaj. Okay, Tawaf Ziyarat is performed, is mandatory Tawaf, which is Farz, which is the third Farz of Hajj. Hajj का तीसरा Farz क्या है? वो Tawaf Ziyarat है. ठीक है, without performance of this Tawaf, the Hajj becomes void. It will remain incomplete. ठीक है, method of Tawaf is same for all types of Tawaf. Tawaf का सबका method same ही होता है. ठीक है, तो Tawaf Ziyarat is performed. Then again they will spend 11th 12th, मतलब 10th को तो वहीं पे मीना में थे, और फिर उसके बाद दोबारा तवाफ़ करने के बाद देन दे विल फ्रॉम मक्का, फ्रॉम मस्जिद हराम दे विल रिटर्न बैक टू मीना. They will stay in Mina from 10th Zilhaj to 12th Zilhaj. They will stay at Mina, and here, while staying in Mina, they will perform only one thing, which is stoning on all the three pillars. Okay, the three pillars would be stoned, starting Jamratul Sughra, Jamratul Wusta, and Jamratul Uqba are stoned. Okay, so the three pillars would be stoned with 7 pebbles on each pillar on all these 3 days. So 11th ko 21 pebbles were used, and then on 12th again 21 were used. Okay, if the pilgrim further intends to stay for another day, he has to perform stoning of 13th Dhul-Hajj also. ठीक है, तो इसलिए minimum 49 pebbles are required, or they may need 70 pebbles, क्योंकि अगर 13th को भी stoning करनी पड़ेगी तो they will need additionally 21 more pebbles. ठीक है, तो 21 21 and 21, तो हमारे पास ये हो गए 63, and 7 that were used on the 10th of Zilhaj, जो सिर्फ पहले उसके ऊपर किए थे ना, 10th Zilhaj को तो सिर्फ बड़े वाले स्टोन पे पिलर पे किया था, तो 7, तो ऑल टुगेदर 70. At the time of leaving Makkah, the last thing which they have to do is Tawaf-e-Wada, which is the farewell Tawaf, which is performed at the time when the pilgrim is leaving Makkah. ठीक है, at the time when the person is leaving Makkah, he should perform Tawaf-e-Wada. That is the farewell Tawaf. The farewell Tawaf is done. Now after, अच्छा एक चीज़ हम भूल गए, क्योंकि मैंने कहा था कि सही, मैंने कहा था कि that can be performed earlier. If सही has not performed earlier, that should be performed with Tawaf ज़ियारत. ठीक है, 10 जिलहज को जब तवाफ़ करने के लिए आए थे ना तवाफ़ ज़ियारत, तो फिर उसके साथ सही की जाएगी इफ़ सही हैज़ नॉट बीन परफॉर्म्ड अर्लियर. बट इफ़ ऑलरेडी परफॉर्म देन देयर इज़ नो नीड टू रिपीट सही, फिर सही नहीं की जाती. दिस इज़ हाउ दिस इज़ द मेथड ऑफ हज. You can further mention that the pilgrim afterwards they move towards Medina. Okay, they visit Medina, the place where the Prophet peace upon him has been buried. Yes, Tawaf-e Ziyarat is also known as Tawaf-e Ifada. It is also known as Tawaf-e Rukn also. Or फिर you can further talk about के you can mention that Prophet peace upon him recommended that his grave should be visited because according to the hadith of the Holy Prophet, he who comes for Hajj and does not visit me is a miser. मतलब वो बखील है, वो कंजूस है. ठीक है, the who comes for Hajj and does not visit me is a miser. One that comes to my grave and give me salam, I say salam to that person in reply. Okay, there is no fixed date. Okay, at the time when the person is leaving Makkah, he may perform tawaf-e wada, and then at the end he may visit Medina. Medina को visit करें. And according to the another hadith of the Holy Prophet peace upon him, that whoever visited me after my death, whoever visited my grave after me, after whoever visited my grave after my death, is as he has visited me during my lifetime. So that is why Muslim they have been recommended to visit the Prophet peace upon him's grave. हज के बेनिफिट्स का भी सवाल इसी तरीके से हमें प्रिपेयर करना है. ठीक है, जब भी अगर बेनिफिट्स का सवाल आएगा तो एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्टरी पैराग्राफ आप उसका बता दें कि हज की मीनिंग, उसकी डेफिनेशन और उसका बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन दे दें. फिर आप उसके तीन चार तरह के बेनिफिट्स, मतलब उसके इंडिविजुअल एंड स्पिरिचुअल बेनिफिट्स, इट्स कम्युनल एंड सोशल बेनिफिट्स, उसके इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स और उसके पॉलिटिकल बेनिफिट्स. तो Hajj is actually that type of worship which has so many benefits because Hajj is the culmination of all different types of worship. Hajj is not only a physical worship, it's also a financial worship, it's also like jihad, it's also like fasting. So whoever performs Hajj, so he gets all such type of benefits that could be achieved from the other pillars of Islam. हमें जो बेनिफिट्स फास्टिंग के मिल रहे हैं, जो बेनिफिट्स हमें प्रेयर और ज़कात के मिल रहे हैं, all such type of benefits could be achieved from Hajj also. Because in Hajj is like fasting. That in fasting the person has to abstain. In Hajj, while in a state of ihram, the person has to abstain from several things. It develops self-control. It develops taqwa and piety. ठीक है, self-restraint and self-control could be developed. It is like prayer. In it there is a physical worship. The person runs between Safa and Marwa and he takes 7 rounds around Holy Kaaba for to perform tawaf. It's like a physical worship, like prayer. It's like zakat because just like zakat, the person has to spend his wealth in the way of God. Because Hajj is not only a physical worship, a huge sum of money is required to be spent in the way of Allah Almighty. ठीक है, तो वो भी इसके अंदर है. And it is also like jihad because like jihad the person has to stay away from his house, the comfort of his house and his family. In the same way, during the fixed days of Hajj, the person spends some time away from his family, open in open ground. ठीक है, उसमें मीना में और जगहों के ऊपर वहाँ पे उसको ओपनली नाइट स्टे करना पड़ता है. So this is how it is also like jihad. So Hajj is that worship which brings different types of benefit that can be achieved from the other pillars of Islam. ठीक है, तो यही इसने ये बात की ना, हज इज दैट एक्ट ऑफ इबादत दैट विच कवर्स ऑल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल फॉर्म्स ऑफ वर्शिप दैट इज प्रेयर, zakat, sacrifice, fasting, okay, self-control, and some stages, helping the pilgrims to refresh their practices and obligation. So it is a, you can talk about reward that Allah has promised high reward for the one who performs pilgrimage because the one who performs Hajj, okay, he becomes pure from sins. ठीक है, वो उसके गुनाहों से पाक साफ हो जाता है. ठीक है, these are some of the benefits of Hajj, the individual benefits Hajj के जो हो रहे हैं. कि sound Hajj has no reward except paradise. This can be referred in your answer. Hajj, it wipes off the past sins. It removes the past sins. According to the hadith, he who performs Hajj for Allah's pleasure and avoids all vulgarity and sins will return after Hajj free from all sins, as he was the day his mother gave birth to him. His mother bore him. Okay, Hajj free from sins and defects is rewarded with paradise. Okay, accepted Hajj, sound Hajj has no reward except paradise. ठीक है, तो it has such a great reward. तो ये सारी इसमें रिवॉर्ड की बात कर सकते हैं हम. ठीक है, हज also brings lot of social and communal benefits because it is the largest annual gathering of the Muslims from all over the world. एंड मुस्लिम दे गैदर एंड असेंबल एट वन प्लेस, ठीक है, और फिर उसकी वजह से इट brings and it develops brotherhood amongst them. It promotes equality amongst them, okay, irrespective of their differences between one another, ठीक है, तो it creates and it develops sense of togetherness, and it develops the sense of equality amongst them, ठीक है, तो it brings the sense of togetherness, number one, and also it develops the sense of equality because all are wearing same ihram, reciting same wording, performing the same rituals at the same time together. So it is the way that Muslims they can show their strength, okay, and they can make one community and united, uniform, and this is how they can show their power that the, to the world, and how powerful the Muslims can be if they are stand united and together. Hajj, it also brings a lot of economic benefits because trade is allowed. यहाँ से economic की बात हो रही है because trade, since trade is allowed during Hajj, ठीक है, तो lot of economic benefits could also be achieved because there is no sin and no crime if they engage themselves in business, ठीक है, there is, like, what are the economic benefits of Hajj? You can say that they may witness things that are of benefit to them, like trade and other benefits. In the same way, there is a verse, it is no crime in you if you seek the bounty of your Lord during the pilgrimage. So what type of benefit, economic benefits could be achieved? They get a chance to devise plans and strategies that they may be beneficial for the Muslim on individual level. They can make trade agreements with one another. They can uh, sign a great treaty. Trade barriers could be removed, and they can gain experience from other Muslims. ठीक है, this is how they can promote their uh, product and their brand to the other Muslims all over the world. So Hajj is that type of worship through which we can achieve lot of economic benefits also, ठीक है, उससे हमारे ये benefits हासिल हो सकते हैं. In the same way, Hajj can also bring lot of political benefits because we can say that uh, politicians from all over the Muslim world, they are gathered at one place so they can discuss their differences with one another, and they can formulate a policy through which they can remove their differences, and they can discuss their problems of common interest, okay. It provides Muslim leaders an opportunity to discuss their common problem. Their problems could be highlighted later on the international forums like United Nations and other organizations, fine. They can solve their issues, territorial differences and other types of issues could be discussed, and they can formulate the common policy, and this is how unity could be achieved through this Hajj. Like during the time of the rightly carried caliph, it was the center, and the caliph himself was there to discuss the problem of the Muslims all living in the different part of the Islamic empire. So in this way, this forum could be used, and this Hajj can be utilized for this purpose because major and main politicians could be available to this from all over the Islamic world, from the Muslim world, can discuss their problem. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास हज के कितने के तरह के सवाल आ गए? दो तरह के. एक तो हो गया कि मेथड ऑफ हज और बेनिफिट्स. मेथड ही को डिस्कस करते हुए वी लर्न अबाउट मैनी ऑफ द टर्म्स ऑफ हज. उसके अंदर हमने एहराम देखा, उसके अंदर हमने रमी स्टोनिंग को देखा, ठीक है, उसी के अंदर हमारे पास सेक्रीफाइस का भी जिक्र आया, तवाफ़ और एहराम का भी जिक्र आया, ठीक है. आई विल शेयर दिस पावर पॉइंट अगेन विद यू अबाउट हज, जिसके अंदर हर टर्म से रिलेटेड उसकी डिटेल, ठीक है, और उसका प्रैक्टिसेस भी हैं, ठीक है. वट आर द, लाइक, वी हैव डिफरेंट टर्म्स ऑफ हज एंड द वे दीज टर्म्स आर प्रैक्टिसेस. देखिए, एहराम है तो एहराम की प्रैक्टिस और उसकी रिस्ट्रिक्शन, ठीक है. इन द सेम वे वी हैव अदर टर्म्स, ठीक है, लाइक तवाफ. what is tawaf, how it is performed, and what are the different types of tawaf, that is also discussed over here. सही है तो सही के बारे में, ठीक है, उसका बैकग्राउंड और उसकी प्रैक्टिस. इन द सेम वे वी हैव द डिफरेंस बिटवीन हज एंड उम्रा, दैट हाउ हज एंड उम्रा आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम वन अनदर. अगर सिर्फ उम्रा का मेथड आ जाता है, जैसे किसी प्रीवियस ईयर में भी आया था, तो उम्रा में क्योंकि सिर्फ चार चीज़ें होती हैं, सो वेन एवर यू राइट अबाउट वेन एवर यू राइट अबाउट उम्रा, तो आपने उम्रा को डिस्क्राइब करते हुए डिटेल में ये बताना है, हर चीज़ को फिर डिटेल में डिस्क्राइब करते चले जाएंगे, ठीक है. तो उम्रा को डिस्क्राइब करते हुए जैसा आप कह रहे हैं कि दे हैव टू पुट ऑन एहराम, ठीक है, एहराम बांधना है। तो एहराम बांधते हुए आपने क्या करना है, एहराम की डिटेल बतानी है कि एहराम के रिस्ट्रिक्शंस क्या हैं, एहराम का तरीका क्या है, ठीक है, उन सबको डिस्क्राइब करते जाओगे। ठीक है, तवाफ़ के तरीके को डिस्क्राइब कर दोगे, मेथड ऑफ तवाफ़ को डिस्क्राइब कर दो। ठीक है, सही के मेथड को डिस्क्राइब कर दो, और बाकी चीज़ों को भी इस तरीके से डिस्क्राइब करते चले जाना। ठीक है, तो हर और एहराम के रिस्ट्रिक्शंस को ये बता दो, तवाफ़ के मेथड को बता दो, तवाफ़ के मेथड को डिस्क्राइब करोगे कि फ्रॉम वेयर तवाफ़ बिगिनस, तवाफ़ स्टार्ट कहाँ से होता है। ठीक है, तवाफ़ करते हुए रमल किया जाता है, रमल को डिस्क्राइब कर दें। तवाफ़ करने के बाद वहाँ पे 2 रकात नमाज़ पढ़ी जाती है एट स्टेशन ऑफ इब्राहिम, उसकी वर्ड्स को कोट कर दें। ठीक है, सही का बैकग्राउंड आप अपने आंसर के अंदर बता दें। तो दिस इज़ हाउ आप कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ों को ऐड कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे इस तरीके से। ठीक है, तो जब भी इस तरह का सवाल आ जाए किसी ऐसे टॉपिक का जिसके बारे में आप के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल नहीं होती वहाँ पे, तो फिर आप इस तरीके से आंसर को कंप्लीट करेंगे अपने। ठीक है, किसी के ध्यान में कोई क्वेश्चन है तो यू कैन नाउ डिस्कस। ठीक है, यू कैन राइट योर क्वेश्चन।